Dr. Lisa Martinez pressed her face against the window of the human ship Lucky Strike. Outside, space looked different here. The stars were wrong colors, and 3 moons hung in the darkness like giant pearls. This was the Kepler system, 40,000 light years from Earth, further from home than any human had ever traveled. First time seeing alien space? Captain Jake Morrison walked up beside her. His boots made soft sounds on the metal floor. Jake was a big man with graying hair and kind eyes. He had been flying ships for 20 years, but this trip was special. Even for him. "It's beautiful," Lisa said. She was young for a doctor, only 32, with dark hair tied back in a simple ponytail. Her job was to study alien life forms. Today, she would meet living aliens for the first time. Amy Bennett looked up from her computer screen. She was the team's communications expert. Her job was to make sure humans and aliens could talk to each other. "The translation program is working perfectly," she said with a smile. "We should be able to understand everything they say." Dr. Kevin Torres joined them at the window. He was a marine biologist who studied sea creatures on Earth. Now he would study alien creatures instead. "Look at that ship," he said, pointing outside. The alien vessel was huge. It looked like a crystal flower made of metal and glass. Lights moved through its walls like colorful water. The human ship Lucky Strike looked like a tiny metal box next to it. "That's the Harmony's Edge," Jake said. "Home to the Galactic Council. Representatives from 50 different alien species live on that ship." Lisa felt her heart beat faster. 50 alien species. On Earth, humans had always wondered if they were alone in the universe. Now they knew they were not alone. They were. Very, very not alone. A voice came through the ship's speakers. It sounded like music mixed with static. Then Amy's computer translated it into English. "Welcome, humans of Earth. This is Ambassador Veltar of the Zephyrian people. We are honored to meet you." Amy spoke into her microphone. "Thank you, Ambassador. We are honored to be here. Please dock your ship in Bay 7. We have prepared a feast to welcome you to our community." Jake piloted the Lucky Strike into the alien ship's docking bay. The bay was enormous. It could have held 50 human ships. Strange machines moved around like metal spiders, connecting cables and tubes to their ship. When they opened the airlock, warm air flowed in. It smelled like flowers and ozone. The gravity felt a little lighter than Earth's. Ambassador Veltar waited for them. He was 7 feet tall and looked like a giant praying mantis made of green metal. His 4 arms moved gracefully as he walked. 2 large compound eyes reflected the lights around them. "Welcome to Harmony's Edge," Veltar said. His voice sounded like wind chimes. "I am pleased to finally meet humans." Lisa stared at him. She had seen pictures and videos, but meeting a real alien was different. He was beautiful and terrifying at the same time. "Thank you for inviting us," Jake said. He stepped forward and held out his hand. Veltar looked at the hand for a moment, then carefully touched it with one of his 4 hands. His skin felt cool and smooth. "Come," Veltar said. "The others are waiting." They walked through corridors made of the same crystal material as the ships outside. The walls glowed with soft light. Other aliens moved past them. Lisa saw creatures that looked like walking rocks, others that seemed to be made of liquid light, and some that looked almost human, except for their blue skin and extra arms. The dining hall was huge. A dome ceiling showed the stars outside. Tables were arranged in a circle around a central platform. Hundreds of aliens sat at the tables, all watching the humans. "So many different species," Kevin whispered. "Each table represents a different world," Veltar explained. "Today, you will taste food from across the galaxy." They sat at a table with Veltar and several other aliens. One looked like a living crystal sculpture. This was Crystal Singer Nethara of the Vortani people. Another was small and furry with big eyes. His name was Pip, and he came from a world of eternal winter. Before we eat, Veltar said, we must explain about our most special dish. He gestured to the center platform. Several aliens wheeled out a massive silver container. Steam rose from it as they opened the lid. Inside was the largest piece of meat Lisa had ever seen. It was dark red with blue streaks running through it. The smell hit them immediately. It was rich and complex, like the best steak mixed with ocean air. This is Void Stalker, Veltar said with great ceremony. The greatest predator in known space. This creature hunts starships. It lives in the empty space between stars. It has no fear of anything. Crystal Singer Nethara's voice sounded like singing glass. Void Stalkers have terrorized space lanes for 10,000 years. They attack ships without warning. Their claws can cut through any metal. Their minds can drive other creatures insane. Only the greatest hunters can kill one, added Pip in his squeaky voice. It takes fleets of ships and many brave warriors. Many die in every hunt. Veltar continued the explanation. The meat is very dangerous. It contains toxins that can kill. Most species, even tiny amounts, can be deadly. We prepare it very carefully, in very small pieces. The aliens began serving the food. Each creature got a piece of Void Stalker meat no bigger than a coin. They also served many other dishes from different worlds. There were glowing fruits, crystalline vegetables, and foods that seemed to move by themselves. Lisa looked at her tiny piece of Void Stalker meat. It was beautiful, marbled with blue and red like expensive beef. The smell made her mouth water. This is an incredible honor, Veltar said. Most beings go their entire lives without tasting Void Stalker. You are among the first humans to try it. Jake picked up his fork. It smells great, he said. The aliens around the table tensed, their eyes fixed on Jake as he cut his small piece of meat. He put it in his mouth and chewed slowly. His face showed no fear, no concern, just curiosity about the taste. Jake said after swallowing. That's really good. Kind of like steak, but with a fishy taste. And there's something else, ... He thought for a moment. Like mushrooms, maybe? The alien stared at him in complete silence. Lisa tried her piece next. The meat was tender and flavorful. There was a slight tingling sensation on her tongue, and colors seemed a little brighter for a moment. It's delicious, she said. Very complex flavor. Amy and Kevin tried theirs too. Amy said it reminded her of the expensive sushi her dad used to buy for special occasions. Kevin noted that the texture was perfect, not too tough or too soft. Around the table, alien eyes grew wider and wider. Some aliens had stopped breathing entirely. Others made small clicking or humming sounds that their translators couldn't interpret. More, please, Jake said, holding up his empty plate. Ambassador Veltar's compound eyes reflected the light like mirrors. His 4 hands shook slightly as he spoke. More? He repeated. If that's okay, Jake said politely. That was just a taste. I'd love to try a real portion. The dining hall fell completely silent. Hundreds of alien beings turned to stare at the human table. The only sound was the soft hum of the ship's engines. Crystal Singer Nethara made a sound like breaking glass. Pip's fur stood up straight. Even the walking rock creatures seemed to lean forward in shock. Lisa looked around at all the staring faces. Did we do something wrong? She asked. Ambassador Veltar stood up so fast his chair fell backward. His 4 arms waved in panic. Medical team to dining hall 7 immediately, he said into a small device on his wrist. Code red emergency. Possible mass poisoning. Jake Morrison looked confused. Is there a problem? Around the dining hall, aliens began backing away from their table. Some covered their eyes. Others made strange sounds that the translators couldn't understand. A few small aliens actually fainted and had to be carried away by their friends. "You ate the full portion," Beltar said, his voice shaking. "All of it. Each of you." "It wasn't that big," Amy Bennett said. She looked at her empty plate. "Maybe 2 ounces? I've eaten bigger hamburgers." Crystal singer Nethara made a sound like wind through broken glass. 2 ounces is enough to kill a thornback giant. Thornback giants weigh 3 tons. Dr. Lisa. Martinez pulled out her tablet and started taking notes. "What exactly are the symptoms we should expect?" she asked with scientific curiosity. "Madness," squeaked Pip, his fur still standing straight up. "First comes the madness. Your minds will break. You will see things that are not there. You will hear voices from the void. Then comes the poison," added Veltar. "Your blood will turn to acid. Your organs will dissolve. Death comes in great pain." Kevin Torres tilted his head. "How long does this usually take?" "Minutes," Nethera sang sadly. "Perhaps an hour for strong species. You should already be showing symptoms." Lisa looked around at her teammates. Jake was calmly drinking water from his glass. Amy was reading something on her tablet. Kevin was examining one of the glowing fruits on the table. "We all feel fine," she said. The medical team arrived. They were small silver creatures that looked like robots, but moved like living beings. They surrounded the human table with strange devices that beeped and flashed. "Scanning for toxins," one of them announced. "Scanning for neural damage. Scanning for cellular breakdown." The devices beeped faster and faster. Then they stopped. "No toxins detected," the medical team leader sighed, sounding confused. "No neural damage. No cellular breakdown. All subjects appear completely healthy." Jake smiled at Veltar. "See? We're fine. Now, about that second helping ... More aliens fainted. One of the walking rock creatures actually cracked down the middle and had to be glued back together. "This is impossible," Veltar whispered. "No species can eat Void Stalker without dying. The toxins are too strong. The psychic effects are too powerful." Amy laughed. "My brother once ate an entire chocolate cake that was meant for 20 people. He was sick for 3 days, but he lived. Humans eat weird stuff all the time." "Chocolate is poison," Nethara said quickly. "Many species die from chocolate." "Really?" Amy looked interested. "We feed it to children." More aliens made worried sounds. Dr. Martinez pulled up information on her tablet. "Actually, chocolate contains theobromine, which is toxic to many earth animals too. Dogs, cats, birds. But humans process it just fine. We also eat things with caffeine, alcohol, capsaicin." "What is capsaicin?" Veltar asked. "It's what makes peppers hot," Kevin explained. "It's actually a neurotoxin. Plants make it to stop animals from eating them. But humans love it. We put it on everything." "You eat neurotoxins for pleasure?" Pip's big eyes got even bigger. "Sure," Jake said. "Have you ever had hot sauce? It burns your mouth, makes you sweat, sometimes makes you cry. It's great." The aliens around the table moved back even further. Lisa continued reading from her tablet. "Humans eat lots of things that are poisonous to other species. Onions destroy red blood cells in dogs. Grapes cause kidney failure in many animals. Avocados are toxic to birds, but humans eat them all without problems. We actually seek out dangerous foods," Amy added. "There's a type of fish called fugu that can kill you if it's not prepared correctly. People pay extra money to eat it." "You pay more for food that might kill you?" Veltar asked weakly. "The danger is part of the fun," Jake explained. "Same with mushrooms. Some mushrooms will kill you. Some will make you see things. Some are perfectly safe. Learning the difference is a skill. Kevin nodded. My grandmother used to pick wild mushrooms in the forest. She knew which ones were safe. She made the most amazing mushroom soup. Your grandmother hunted poisonous fungi? Nithara's voice reached a very high note, all the time. She also ate raw fish, fermented shark meat, and cheese with live mold growing in it. More aliens made scared sounds. Dr. Martinez looked up from her tablet. I'm reading about void stalker biology here. The toxins are actually quite mild compared to some Earth organisms. This creature produces compounds similar to pufferfish poison, deathcap mushrooms, and castor beans. Humans have been accidentally eating these for thousands of years. You eat deathcaps? Pip squeaked. Well, not on purpose usually, but some people survive it. Human liver function is very efficient at processing toxins. Veltar sat back down heavily. What about the psychic effects? Void stalkers project fear and madness. Their minds touch yours and drive you insane. Jake thought about this. I did feel something weird, like a buzzing in my head, but it wasn't scary. More like ... Have you ever had too much coffee? What? Is coffee? Several aliens asked at once. It's a drug, Amy explained cheerfully. We drink it every morning. It makes us alert and energetic. Some people drink 10 cups a day. You consume drugs daily? Veltar's voice was very faint now. Oh, sure. Coffee, tea, alcohol, chocolate. Most human foods have some kind of chemical effect. We like foods that change how we feel. Lisa nodded. The psychoactive compounds in the void stalker meat are actually quite pleasant, similar to certain mushrooms that humans use in religious ceremonies. You use drugs in religious ceremonies too? Nithara asked. Some cultures do. It's been happening for thousands of years. The medical team was still scanning the humans with their devices. Heart rates normal, they reported. Brain activity normal. Digestive systems processing food normally. No signs of distress. Jake looked around the table at all the worried alien faces. Look, we really appreciate this amazing meal. The void stalker was delicious. But we're starting to feel bad about causing such a panic. You feel bad? Veltar asked. We don't want to upset anyone. Maybe we should explain a bit about human biology. Dr. Martinez cleared her throat. Humans evolved as persistence hunters. We chased prey until it collapsed from exhaustion. This required us to eat whatever we could find. Our stomachs produce very strong acid. Our livers are excellent at processing toxins. Our immune systems fight off diseases that would kill most species. We also developed cooking, Kevin added. Fire lets us eat things that would be dangerous raw. We can break down toxins with heat, smoke, fermentation, drying. You control fire? Pip asked in amazement. Every human can make fire, Amy said. We learn as children. We cook almost all our food. You are a species of firemakers, Veltar said slowly. And we share food socially, Jake explained. Eating together is how we bond. We're actually honored that you shared your most special dish with us. The aliens looked at each other. Slow understanding began to appear on their faces. You are not dying because you cannot die from this, Nithara sang softly. We might get a little stomach ache if we eat too much, Lisa said. But probably not. Even that. What else do humans eat? Veltar asked carefully. Jake smiled. Would you like to see our ship's food storage? We brought some Earth food to share. Every alien in the dining hall leaned forward with curiosity and terror. 3 days later, news of the humans eating void stalker meat had spread across the galaxy. Every space station, every planet, every ship was talking about it. The story grew bigger with each telling. High Arbiter Zorkith sat in his office on The council station. He was very old, even for his species. His skin looked like ancient tree bark, and his 3 eyes glowed with wisdom. He had seen many strange things in his long life, but nothing like this. "Show me the medical reports again," he said to his assistant. The reports appeared on his screen. Every test showed the same thing. The humans were completely healthy. Number: poison in their blood. No damage to their organs. No signs of madness. They had eaten enough void stalker toxin to kill a small army, and they asked for seconds. "Sir," his assistant said, "we are receiving thousands of messages. Every species wants to know about these humans. Some are scared, others are curious. A few want to hire them as bodyguards." Zorkith rubbed his temples with 2 of his 4 hands. "What do the humans want?" "They asked to go on a hunt, sir." "A hunt?" "They want to catch their own void stalker. Captain Morrison said they would like to try cooking it themselves." Zorkith's 3 eyes blinked in sequence. "They want to hunt. The galaxy's most dangerous predator for fun?" "That appears to be correct, sir." The High Arbiter stood up and walked to his window. Outside, he could see the human ship Lucky Strike. It looked so small and simple compared to the massive alien vessels around it. Hard to believe such a tiny ship carried such dangerous creatures. "Very well," he said finally. "Arrange a traditional hunt, but use every safety measure we have. I want a full battle fleet." 2 days later, 47 ships gathered in the Void Stalker hunting grounds near the Dark Star Nebula. The alien fleet was impressive. Massive battleships with plasma cannons, fast attack cruisers with quantum shields, medical ships ready for casualties, transport ships filled with the finest hunting equipment in the galaxy. The human ship Lucky Strike looked like a tiny metal dot among the giants. Commander Beth Rodriguez was the pilot of the Lucky Strike. She was a tough woman with short black hair and steady hands. She had flown cargo ships through asteroid fields and ice storms. But hunting space monsters was new, even for her. "So what's the plan?" she asked Captain Morrison over the radio. Jake was on the command ship with the alien. "Fleet Admiral. They want to show us how it's done first," he said. "Apparently this is a big ceremony, very traditional." Tony Garcia, the Lucky Strike's engineer, looked out the window at the alien fleet. "All those ships for one creature? Must be a big one," said Sam Collins, their mechanic. Sam was a quiet man who could fix anything that broke. He was more interested in the alien ship designs than the hunt itself. The hunt began with great ceremony. Admiral Krixtai of the Stellar Navy gave a long speech about courage and honor. Priests from 12 different species blessed the weapons. Musicians played hunting songs that sounded like dying whales, mixed with static dot. Then the sensors found their target. The Void Stalker was young, only about the size of a shuttle. It drifted in space like a sleeping shark. Its skin was black with silver stripes. 6 long arms ended in claws that could cut through starship hull. Its eyes were closed, but everyone knew it was aware of them. Battle stations. Admiral Krixtai commanded. The alien ships moved into formation. A complex dance of vessels surrounding their prey. Weapons charged. Shields powered up. Medical teams prepared for wounded. The Void Stalker opened its eyes. They glowed red in the darkness of space. Suddenly, every alien in the fleet felt a wave of terror wash over them. The creature's mind touched theirs, filling them with images of death and darkness. Several alien pilots had to be sedated. Others began shaking uncontrollably. The battle formation wavered as ships struggled to maintain position. "It's fighting back mentally," Admiral Krixtai announced, his voice tight with strain. "All crew, activate psychic shields." On the Lucky Strike, Commander Rodriguez felt the mental attack too. It was like a cold wind blowing through her thoughts. Unpleasant, but not unbearable. "Anyone else feel that?" she asked her crew. "Feel what?" Tony Garcia asked. He was busy checking the engine readings. "That ... creepy feeling," Sam Collins shrugged. "Feels like watching a scary movie. Not too bad." The alien fleet began their attack. Plasma beams and quantum torpedoes filled space with light. The Void Stalker moved like liquid shadow, avoiding most of the shots. When weapons did hit, they barely scratched its skin. The creature struck back. Its claws raked across a battleship's hull, leaving deep gouges in the armor. Its tail whipped around and smashed into a cruiser, sending it spinning. "This is taking forever," Rodriguez muttered, watching the battle. The alien ships were fast and well armed, but they fought like they were scared. They kept their distance, fired from long range, retreated when the creature got close. "Permission to try a different approach, Captain?" she asked over the radio. Jake's voice came back from the command ship. "What did you have in mind? Direct engagement?" "Get up close and personal." There was silence on the radio. Then Admiral Crickstey's translator voice came through. "Commander Rodriguez, that would be suicide. No ship can survive close contact with a Void Stalker." "We've got good armor," Rodriguez said, "and I'm tired of waiting." Before anyone could stop her, she gunned the Lucky Strike's engines. The little ship shot forward like a bullet, heading straight for the Void Stalker. The creature saw them coming. Its red eyes focused on the approaching ship. It sent out another wave of mental terror, stronger this time. Rodriguez felt it hit her mind like a cold slap. For a moment, she saw images of endless darkness, of being alone in space forever, of watching her friends die horribly. Then she shook her head, and the visions faded. "That all you got?" She muttered. The Void Stalker's claws reached out to grab the Lucky Strike. At the last second, Rodriguez spun the ship sideways and rammed it straight into the creature's side. Impact threw everyone around the ship. Warning lights flashed. Alarms buzzed, but the Lucky Strike's reinforced mining hull held together. The Void Stalker was stunned. It had never been hit so hard by something so small. It floated in space, dazed and confused. "Now," Rodriguez announced calmly. Sam Collins opened the cargo bay doors. Tony Garcia suited up and grabbed a magnetic harpoon from their mining equipment. Before the alien fleet could react, he was outside the ship, floating in space next to the stunned Void Stalker. The creature was beautiful up close. Its skin rippled with patterns of light. Its claws were sharp as razors, but graceful as art. Tony attached the harpoon cable to its tail, then gave Rodriguez a thumbs up. "Package secured," he announced, bringing it aboard. The Lucky Strike's cargo winch pulled the Void Stalker into their hold like a fisherman reeling in a prize catch. The creature fit perfectly, though it took up most of their cargo space. Tony climbed back inside and closed the bay doors. "All secure, Commander." Rodriguez opened the radio channel to the fleet. Hunt successful. One Void Stalker captured alive, returning to base. The silence on the radio lasted for a full minute. Finally, Admiral Crickstey's voice came through, very quiet and very confused. You caught it. Wasn't that hard?" Tony said cheerfully. "These things are pretty slow when you get them off. Guard, you caught the galaxy's most feared predator in 12 minutes. Rodriguez checked her watch. 11 minutes, actually. Not bad for a first try. The alien fleet followed the Lucky Strike back to the station in complete silence. Back at the space station, word spread quickly. The humans had caught a live Void Stalker in 11 minutes. What usually took fleets of ships and many deaths, 4 humans had done like it was a normal Tuesday. "We should return the favor, Captain," Jake Morrison said to his crew. They were gathered in the Lucky Strike's small dining area, planning their next move. They gave us that amazing welcome feast. We should cook for them. Commander Beth Rodriguez nodded. Good idea. What should we make? Sam Collins was already checking their food supplies. We've got plenty of Void Stalker meat now. How about steaks? I brought my grandmother's spice collection, Tony Garcia said with a grin. We could do them right. Dr. Lisa Martinez looked concerned. Are we sure it's safe to feed alien species? Human food? We've established that we can eat almost anything, but that doesn't mean they can eat what we eat. We'll start simple, Jake decided. Just the meat, cooked properly. Maybe some basic seasonings. Amy Bennett was already working on her computer. I'll send invitations to everyone. Make it a proper dinner party. 3 hours later, the Lucky Strike's cargo bay had been transformed into a restaurant. Sam had built a grill from spare ship parts. Tony had set up tables and chairs, borrowed from the station. Amy had strung lights around the ceiling to make it feel cozy. The Void Stalker meat was cut into perfect steaks. Each piece was thick and marbled with blue and silver streaks. The smell of cooking meat filled the air. God Ambassador Valtar was the first to arrive. He walked carefully into the cargo bay, his forearms twitching nervously. This is where you keep the live Void Stalker? He asked. We moved it to a containment cell, Jake assured him. Don't worry, it's completely secure. More aliens began arriving. Crystal Singer Nethera came with several other Vortani. Their crystal bodies reflected the lights beautifully. Pip brought a group of his furry people. They stayed close together, big eyes darting around nervously. Admiral Crix Dye arrived with his senior officers. High Arbiter Zorkith came too, along with representatives from dozens of other species. Soon the cargo bay was packed with curious aliens. They all watched in fascination as Sam worked the grill. He flipped the steaks with practiced ease, the meat sizzling and smoking. The smell was incredible, rich and complex, and completely alien to most of the guests. How do you control the fire so precisely? Asked one of the rock-like granite people. Practice, Sam said simply. Been cooking since I was 8 years old. 8 of your years? The alien seemed shocked. Children control fire? Sure. Camping. Trips. Backyard barbecues. It's fun. Tony Garcia was preparing side dishes. He had found some earth vegetables in their storage and was roasting them with garlic and herbs. The aliens watched him cut and season the food with the same fascination. They might watch a bomb disposal expert. Those are toxins, whispered one of the plant-like chlorophyll collective members, pointing at the garlic. To you, maybe, Tony said cheerfully. To us, it's flavor. Dr. Martinez was taking notes on her tablet, documenting the cooking process for scientific purposes. Humans developed cooking approximately 2 million years ago, she explained to the gathered aliens. It allowed us to extract more nutrients from food and spend less energy on digestion. This freed up energy for brain development. You evolved. Bigger brains by cooking food? Valtar asked. Partly, yes. Cooking is one of the things that made us human. Kevin Torres was setting up a small buffet table with various earth foods they had brought. Crackers, cheese, dried fruits, chocolate, coffee. Simple things that seemed exotic to alien eyes. What is that brown substance? Asked a slug-like moisture being. Chocolate, Kevin explained, made from cacao beans. We grind them up, add sugar. And milk. You consume processed plant reproductive organs mixed with animal secretions? The alien's translator seemed to struggle with the concept. When you put it that way, it sounds weird, Amy laughed. But yes, and it's delicious. The first steaks were ready. Sam placed them on plates and handed them out. Each alien received a small portion, about the size of a coin. The humans took normal-sized steaks. Please be very careful, Jake warned the aliens. Start with tiny bites. If you feel sick, stop eating immediately. The aliens examined their food carefully. The meat looked different cooked, browner on the outside, pink in the middle. Steam rose from the surface, carrying rich aromas. Veltar was the first to try it. He cut a piece so small it was barely visible and placed it carefully in his mouth. His compound eyes widened immediately. "The flavor," he said softly. "It's completely different." "Cooking changes the chemical structure," Lisa explained. "Heat breaks down proteins and creates new compounds. That's where the flavor comes from." Other aliens began tasting their portions. The reactions were immediate and dramatic. Some made sounds of pleasure. Others sat in stunned silence. A few actually started crying. "This is impossible," Crystal Singer. Nithara sang. "The same meat, but completely transformed. How do you do this?" "Fire," Sam said, as if that explained everything. High Arbiter Zorkith took a careful bite and sat back in his chair. "In all my years, across hundreds of worlds, I have never tasted anything like this." "The Maillard reaction," Kevin explained. "When proteins and sugars react under heat, creates thousands of new flavor compounds." "You understand the chemistry." "Of flavor?" Admiral Krikstai asked. "Every human cook does, even if they don't know the scientific names. We know that slow cooking makes meat tender. High heat creates crispy surfaces. Different spices work with different foods." Tony brought out a small dish of barbecue sauce. "Want to try this?" The aliens looked at the dark red sauce suspiciously. "What is it made from?" Pip squeaked. "Tomatoes, vinegar, brown sugar, spices. About 20 different ingredients." 20 ingredients in one sauce? Several aliens asked at once. "That's nothing," Amy said. "My mom's spaghetti sauce has 40 ingredients." The aliens who were brave enough to try the barbecue sauce had strong reactions. Some loved it. Others found it too intense. All were amazed by the complexity. How many different ways do humans prepare food? Veltar asked. Jake thought about it. Thousands? Maybe tens of thousands? Every culture on Earth has different cooking methods. We grill, bake, fry, boil, steam, smoke, roast, braise, Sam listed. We pickle things, ferment them, dry them, freeze them. We have competitions to see who can cook the best, Tony added. Cooking shows on television. Professional chefs who are famous like movie stars. Cooking is art for you, Nithara realized. Art, science, and social activity all in one. Lisa confirmed. Sharing food is how humans bond. Every celebration involves special meals. The aliens began asking for seconds, then thirds. Soon Sam was cooking constantly, trying to keep up with demand. Other humans pitched in to help serve and explain the food. Commander Rodriguez brought out some coffee and chocolate. The aliens who tried the coffee became very alert and talkative. The chocolate caused several species to enter what appeared to be states of pure bliss. "This is dangerous," one of the medical team members observed. "These substances could be addictive." "They kind of are," Amy admitted. "Humans drink coffee every day. Some people can't function without it." "You consume addictive substances daily?" "Sure. Coffee, tea, chocolate, sugar. Most human foods have some kind of effect on the brain." As the evening went on, the cargo bay filled with wonderful smells and happy sounds. Aliens who had never spoken to each other were sharing food and comparing tastes. The formal barriers between species began to break down. High Arbiter Zorkith stood up and raised his glass of water. "I propose a toast," he said, "to our human friends who have shown us that there is still magic in the universe." All the aliens raised their glasses and cheered. Jake Morrison smiled and looked around at the happy faces. "Just wait until you try pizza," he said. 6 months later, The galaxy was a very different place. Captain Jake Morrison stood in the main hall of New Geneva Station, the newest human settlement in the Outer Rim. The station buzzed with activity. Humans and aliens worked side by side, building new shops and restaurants. The smell of cooking food drifted through the corridors. Earth Express, departing for the Sol System, announced a voice over the station speakers. Now boarding passengers with reservations at Luigi's Authentic Human Cuisine. Jake smiled. Luigi Benedetto had been a cook on a mining ship. Now he ran the most popular restaurant chain in 3 sectors. Every major alien world had at least one human restaurant. The most served very mild versions of Earth food. Amy Bennett walked up beside him, carrying a tablet full of reports. She was now the human cultural ambassador, helping other species understand Earth customs. It was a busy job. "The Galactic Council meeting is in an hour," she said. "Are you ready?" As ready as anyone can be for making history. They walked through the station toward the diplomatic section. Along the way, they passed amazing sights that would have been impossible 6 months ago. A group of Zephyrian children were learning to cook hamburgers under human supervision. 3 crystal singers were harmonizing while eating ice cream. A granite person was carefully sipping coffee and vibrating with caffeine energy. "Look at that," Amy pointed to a small restaurant. Through the window, they could see aliens sitting around tables, sharing meals and talking. The sign outside read, "The Cooked Goose, Traditional Human Family Dining." "Hard to believe how much has changed," Jake said. Dr. Lisa Martinez joined them as they walked. She now headed the Department of Interspecies Nutrition, studying which Earth foods were safe for different alien species. Her research had prevented dozens of accidental poisonings and opened up new trade opportunities. "The latest reports are incredible," she said, scrolling through data on her tablet. "Human cuisine has been adopted by over 200 species. We've identified safe preparation methods for Earth foods on 600 different worlds." "Any problems?" Jake asked. "A few. The flame dancers tried to eat pure capsaicin and ended up in the hospital. The Ice Worlders discovered alcohol and started a 3-day party that's still going on. But overall, things are going well." They entered the diplomatic section, where the formal Galactic Council session was about to begin. The hall was enormous, with representatives from over 1,000 different species. At the center sat High Arbiter Zorkith, looking older but happier than when they first met him. "The Council recognizes Captain Morrison of the human delegation," Zorkith announced. Jake walked to the speaking platform. 6 months ago, this room had been filled with aliens who saw humans as strange curiosities. Now, many of them wore human-style clothing. Some carried coffee cups. A few were actually eating snacks during the meeting. "Honored delegates," Jake began. 6 months ago, humanity was invited to join the galactic community. We came as students, hoping to learn from your wisdom and experience." Murmurs of agreement rippled through the crowd. "Instead, we seem to have accidentally taught you some things too." Laughter filled the hall. Good-natured, friendly laughter that would have been impossible before. "Today, we formally accept membership in the Galactic Council. But more than that, we want to establish the Universal Food Safety Protocol." Ambassador Veltar stood up from his seat. He looked healthier than before, probably because he had been eating regular meals at human restaurants. "The Zephyrian people fully support this proposal. Human food preparation has revolutionized our culture." Crystal singer Nethara added her voice in harmony with several other Vortani. "The sharing of meals has brought our species closer together." Got 1,000 diplomatic treaties. High Arbiter Zorkith called for the formal vote. The result was unanimous. Every species voted to accept both human membership and the new food safety protocols. After the ceremony, there was a celebration feast. Unlike the formal dinner 6 months ago, This was a relaxed, happy gathering. Aliens and humans mixed freely. Sharing food and stories. Commander Beth Rodriguez had become something of a celebrity after her successful Void Stalker hunt. Now she ran a small business taking alien tourists on safe hunting expeditions. Her clients got to watch her capture dangerous space creatures with casual efficiency. Business is booming, she told Jake while they ate. Yesterday, I caught 3 Void Stalkers for a bachelor party from the Spiral Arm colonies. They wanted to serve them at their wedding. 3 in one day. Easy money? These things are actually pretty common once you know where to look. Tony Garcia had started a cooking school for aliens who wanted to learn human techniques. His students included some of the most feared warriors in the galaxy, all carefully learning how to flip pancakes and fry eggs. Cooking is meditation for them, he explained. The precision, the timing, the chemistry, they love it. Sam Collins was designing new kitchen equipment for alien physiology. Grills for species with tentacles instead of hands. Ovens that worked. In zero gravity. Refrigeration units for methane-based life forms. Turns out everyone wants to cook once they learn how, he said. Just needed the right tools. Dr. Kevin Torres had been studying the psychological effects of shared meals on interspecies relations. His research showed that aliens who ate together were 300% more likely to cooperate on other projects. Food brings down barriers, he explained. When you share a meal with someone, they stop being other and start being us. As the evening went on, Jake found himself talking with High Arbiter Zorkith near one of the dessert tables. The old alien was slowly working his way through a small piece of chocolate cake. Tell me honestly, Zorkith said. Did you know this would happen? Which part? All of it. The Cultural Revolution. The end of the Void Stalker problem. The transformation of galactic society. Jake thought carefully. We knew we were different. We just didn't know how different until we met you. Your species has done something remarkable. You have turned the galaxy's most feared predator into a dinner option. You have made cooking into a universal language. You have brought together species that have never cooperated before. We just shared what we had, perhaps. But in doing so, you have shown us something important. You have shown us that there are always new possibilities, that even ancient problems can have simple solutions. Zorkith paused to take another bite of cake. For 10,000 years, Void Stalkers terrorized space travelers. Countless ships were lost. Entire trade routes were abandoned. We built bigger. Weapons, better shields, more powerful fleets. But none of us thought to just eat them. To be fair, you couldn't eat them safely. True, but you could. And more than that, you could cook them better than our greatest chefs could prepare our safest foods. Around them, the celebration continued. Aliens were learning to dance human dances. Humans were trying to sing alien songs. Children from a dozen different species played together in the corridors. What comes next? Zorkith asked. Jake looked around at the happy chaos surrounding them. We keep exploring, keep learning, keep cooking, and eating? Definitely keep eating. High Arbiter Zorkith raised his glass of water in a toast to the humans of Earth, who came to learn about the galaxy and instead taught the galaxy about itself. As aliens throughout the hall raised their glasses in response, Jake Morrison smiled. Tomorrow, there would be new worlds to visit, new species to meet, new foods to try. The Lucky Strike was already loaded with supplies for their next diplomatic mission. Somewhere in the cargo hold, 3 live Void Stalkers waited patiently in containment cells. Not as prisoners, but as ingredients for the welcome feast they would host on the next world they visited. The galaxy was wide and full of wonders. And humanity was just getting started.